Alright, so I'm 3 for 3 now. I'm all done with continuous care shifts. I'm all done with continuous care shifts for now. And I was really starting to get used to it after 3 days. And one of my superiors hinted that I may do more in the future, so that should be pretty interesting. But the really interesting thing today is that I've got my teaching project mostly sorted out now, which was great because there's a proposal due on Wednesday, and I hadn't really come up with anything, and I was actually about to resort to, coercing my little sister into participating into some kind of healthcare teaching activity, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm sure she's glad I didn't have to resort to that. But anyway, the idea comes from one of my supervisors at hospice, and she has to check with some people, but she thinks I can visit a nursing home in the area and do a teaching project with my peers who are working in a nursing home. And so I think, that's a tremendous opportunity. I'm very excited about it, and I definitely stressed really heavily that I felt that the teaching project should fulfill like a defined learning need, like not just I'm getting a bunch of people together because I've got this teaching project to do, And the preliminary topic, although, it can change around a little bit, is going to be broadly ethical considerations in hospice care. Particularly in the conversation I've had so far, particularly with regards to the withdrawal of artificial nutrition and hydration, like feeding tubes and IV fluids and things like that. Because obviously, any of us who've worked in a nursing home, we know that we are pretty much on the front lines of the family's ethical quandaries, and we're really in a position of being responsible for helping them sort through it, along with MSWs. But I mean, that seems a little too specific, like I'm going to be doing like a project. I might as well, add some more things to it too. I mean, I think, broadly philosophical and ethical considerations in hospice care could also include things like the use of psychotropic medications, and could also include, I don't really want to do tissue and organ donation as much as, I think everybody should advocate for it. Maybe I'll mention it briefly, but not spend too much time on it. What were some of the other things I'd thought of besides that? Pain management, obviously, and skin integrity, things like that. But I don't want to phrase it in terms of I'm here doing a teaching project to you nurses about things that I don't think you know, because I don't want to come off like that at all, because I know from experience none of them react well to it. How I would rather phrase it is that this is something about how to educate the family members that we're dealing with about these issues. I have to obviously talk about what those issues are, but if I make the focus, how do you empower the family of somebody who's sick to make informed choices about what kind of medical care they receive, because somebody is that person's POA, hopefully, and that person is going to be making decisions which reflect what we have to reasonably assume are, what that person understands is what's best for them. And it's very difficult to argue directly against those kinds of things when people are convinced that they're what they want to do. You just have to educate people and, just give them every ability to make an informed decision, I guess. So I could talk about various techniques for doing that, and different things to educate family members about. So it kind of works on two levels, because from what I'm told, I've never experienced this, but from what I've heard, occasionally hospice nurses get into these kinds of quandaries with the skilled nursing facilities. So it should be pretty interesting to discuss it as a group, not lecture, but to for everybody to actively participate in the content and have things that people can refer to, like scientific journals and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a slideshow thing, but I really don't like slideshows. I hated them as a student, and I would really hate to foist them on anybody. So all I have to come up with this week is just the proposal, and then next week and the week after I'll start writing up the proposal as a scholarly paper, and then submit it to my professor, who will take a week to grade it. She told us to expect, and then we can plan on teaching. So I'll be doing it like next month sometime, I guess. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to be doing something actually nursing related and actually related to my field and my career. And I really didn't feel like I was getting that with the literary expression of the human journey. As much as I loved a lot of those books back in high school and earlier in some cases, but I just didn't feel like it was. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was directly related to why I was going back to school. You know, like it wasn't to write my billionth favor about Hamlet. But you know, my previous course of study definitely demonstrated to me that to get to where you want to go, you are going to have to do things that are not particularly interesting to you at times, and that's okay. I'll bear it stoically and you know, adjust accordingly or whatever it is that people do. Yeah, but I guess that's today's post work ramble.